Saint Brigid epitomizes everything a strong Irish woman should be, and she holds a special place in many Irish hearts. It is believed Saint Brigid was born at Fogart, near Dundalk, in County Louth, Ireland. Brigid's father, Dubthach, was a pagan chieftain of Leinster, and Braca, a slave woman who became a Christian after being baptized by St. Patrick. Unfortunately, Brigid's father sold her pregnant mother to a new master. Brigid was born into slavery and endured harsh treatment from slave owners while growing up. She grew up to become a very generous, kind, and caring person. Upon reaching 10 years old, she was brought back to live with Dubthach. Brigid had an extraordinary concern and compassion for the poor people of her time. She could never refuse the poor when they came to her door. However, her father resented this. He disagreed with her actions and thought she was being overly generous. When he protested, she replied, "Christ dwells in every creature." One story tells how, as a child, she once gave away a whole store of butter. Knowing that this would get her into trouble, she prayed to God that the butter would be replenished. And her prayers were answered. But her father, in the meantime, grew increasingly enraged, considering her a lowly servant. And he took her to the king of Leinster with an intention to sell her. As her father negotiated with the king, she saw a poor leper outside. She took her father's rare and beautiful sword and gave it to the leper so he could barter it for food for his family. Her father was about to strike her when she explained that she had given the sword to God. When the king, who was a Christian, saw this, he recognized her heart. He convinced Dubthach to grant her freedom by saying, "Her merit before God is greater than ours." Admiring her courage and persistence, he granted Brigid her freedom. When Brigid reached marriageable age, she decided to enter the religious life. She traveled to Croghan Hill in County Meath and asked St. Michael, who was a bishop and had a church there, to admit her into religious life. At first, St. Michael was reluctant to grant Brigid's request, but was eventually convinced of her sincerity. With 7 other young women robed in white, she took her vows before St. Mel, the abbot and bishop of Longford. Brigid founded the first convent in Ireland in County Westermeath. She founded many more monasteries, the most famous one in County Kildare. Saint Brigid went on a journey around Ireland, spreading the word of God. On her way, she visited St. Patrick. Having obtained St. Patrick's blessing, she continued on her journey. One day, she approached the king of Leinster, requesting the land on which to build her monastery. The place she selected in Kildare was ideal. It was near a lake where water was available, in a forest where there was firewood, and near a fertile plain on which to grow crops. The king refused her request. Brigid was not put off by his refusal. Rather, she and her sisters prayed that the king's heart would soften. She made her request again, but this time she asked, "Give me as much land as my cloak will cover." Seeing her small cloak, He laughed and then granted this request. However, Brigid had instructed her 4 helpers each to take a corner of the cloak and walk in opposite directions, north, south, east, and west. As they did this, the cloak began to grow and spread across many acres. She now had sufficient land on which to build her monastery. The king and his entire household were dismayed and amazed. They realized that this woman was truly blessed by God. The king became a patron of Brigid's monastery, assisting her with money, food, and gifts. Later, he converted to Christianity. It was on this land in Kildare that she built her dual monastery. Brigid's life as a nun was rooted in prayer, but it also involved substantial manual labor, cloth making, dairy farming, and raising sheep. Saint Brigid is famous for her cross, which is made of reeds and can be seen in houses all over Ireland, especially around her feast day on February 1st. Here's how the old tale goes. An old pagan chieftain lay delirious on his deathbed in Kildare. His servants summoned Brigid to his bedside in the hope this saintly woman might be able to calm his restless spirit. As she sat by his bedside, trying to calm and console him, she picked up some of the reeds which were strewn across the floor of the room. As her fingers played with the dry strands, she started weaving them together, eventually forming a cross. As she worked, she explained the meaning of the cross to the sick man. Her calming words brought peace to his soul. The chieftain's fever broke. Captivated by her lesson of love and enlightenment, the old chieftain was baptized as a Christian just before his death. In time, Kildare Abbey flourished over the years and became known as one of the most reputable monasteries in Ireland. It is said that the lost manuscript, the Book of Kildare, was written in Kildare Abbey, and some even believe it to be the original Book of Kells. As she claimed the title of abbess of this foundation, she had a considerable amount of power. Famous for her common sense, generosity, and holiness, in her time, she was regarded as a saint. Saint Brigid, you were a woman of peace. You brought harmony where there was conflict. You brought light to the darkness. You brought hope to the downcast. May the mantle of your peace cover those who are troubled and anxious. And may peace be firmly rooted in our hearts and in our world. Inspire us to act justly and to reverence all God has made. Brigid, you were a voice for the wounded and the weary. Strengthen what is weak within us. Calm us into a quietness that heals and listens. May we grow each day into greater wholeness in mind, body, and spirit. Amen.